So you're considering getting a multi-year guaranteed annuity, but you're not sure if you should get a MYGA or a CD. Well, in this video, I'll break them both down for you, MYGA versus CD. Coming up. What's going on, guys? It's Brandon with RV Retirement Living. On this channel, I help RVers, whether full-time, part-time, retired, pre-retirees, understand how annuities can fit into their retirement portfolio, ultimately helping them get out on the road and rolling into retirement with peace of mind. So if that's you, go ahead and like this video, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so you don't miss a single video on how annuities can fit into your portfolio. Let's get into the video. So before we compare the two, let's start by defining both of them. And let's start with a CD. So a CD is essentially a certificate of deposit. Typically, you get it at a bank or a credit union. And essentially, you put money into this account and they'll give you a fixed rate of return. Typically, CDs are FDIC insured up to $250,000. And that makes them one of the safest places to park your money and very popular. Now, what's a MYGA? Multi-year guaranteed annuity. So basically, it's the annuity version of a CD. You give the insurance company, instead of a bank, a lump sum of money, and in return, they guarantee you a fixed interest rate. Typically, it's around 4.5% to 5%, but rates change all the time. So definitely either research it yourself or just reach out to me and we can look at the rates together. And it's for a set number of years. Typically it's 3 to 5 to 7, and it can even go up to 10 years for a MYGA. And the nice thing is it's tax deferred, which we'll get into later on in the video. So now that we know what a MYGA and a CD is, let's go ahead and compare them. So let's look at their similarities first. So as we talked about earlier, they both have a guaranteed interest rate. As of right now in my area, I'm in Florida, we have a local credit union. It's called Florida Credit Union. And I just looked, they have a 13-month CD. That's around a 4.5% interest rate. So that's guaranteed, locked in. And I also looked at another rate while researching for this video for a MYGA. It was an Athene product, and that interest rate was around 5%-ish. So they both have a fixed interest rate. So similarity number two, they're both locked in for certain numbers of years. So like I said earlier, a MYGA anywhere from 5 to 10 years, and a CD, like I said, the example that I found was a 13-month CD. But it's typically around that time frame. Similarity number three, they're both considered safe and conservative. So like I said earlier, you park your money there and it's not going to drop. You're always going to get that interest rate. So now we looked at some similarities. Let's look at some differences. Tax deferral. CDs are taxed annually on the interest. MYGAs are not taxed until you withdraw. So that can be really good, especially on the MYGA part. It could be a huge advantage if you're in a high tax bracket or you want to delay income until retirement. So the tax deferral is different. MYGAs are tax deferred. CDs, you pay taxes annually. Difference number two, rates. MYGAs often offer a higher rate of return. For example, in May 2025, a typical CD rate for a 3-year term was around a 4%, while typical MYGA rates for a 3-year term was about a 6% interest rate. So you can see the differences there. Typically, a MYGA is going to give you a little bit more of an interest rate. And that's because the insurance company, when you park your money there, they're able to invest in long-term investment strategies, which they can make more, and they'll pass some of those savings on to you. So those are some of another difference is the rates. MYGAs have a little bit more rates, and CDs have a little bit less. Now, where do you buy a CD or a MYGA? So like we kind of touched on earlier, a CD is through a bank or a credit union. For example, one that I have here in our area, Florida Credit Union. And then MYGAs are with an insurance company. So think Equitrust, Athene, Midland National, companies like that. One thing to keep in mind as well, while CDs are FDIC insured, MYGAs are not. One thing to make sure of is to make sure that we're working with the best insurance companies. The rating that you want is an A+ or better, because if the insurance company does go under, it depends on the rules of your state, but typically the insurance companies will guarantee or back anywhere between $100,000 to $300,000. But that's why it's crucial to make sure that you know the financial strength of the company. And that's why we want to look at companies that are A+ rating or better. If you have any questions about that, just reach out to me and I'll be able to help you. Another difference are the withdrawal rules. So CDs generally have lighter penalties for early withdrawals, usually only a few months worth of interest. MYGAs, they have surrender charges. They're normally the highest in the early years of the contract and gradually decrease over time. Some contracts allow small annual withdrawals, around 10%. It just depends. So in short, CDs offer more flexibility if there's a chance you'll need your money early, while MYGAs require more of a kind of set it and forget it type of mindset. But one thing we want to keep in mind when we make this decision is to ask yourself, what's the purpose of the money? When you ask yourself what's the purpose of the money, then you'll be able to make a better informed decision. So which one is right for you? Well, in my opinion, it really depends on what you're trying to do with your money. If you're saving for something like short term, like an emergency or something like that, maybe a CD is the right place for you. If you're looking for something that has more of a tax deferral, especially going into retirement, then maybe a MYGA would be in your best interest. Ultimately, you have to do your own research and come to the conclusion yourself. And the article that I based this whole entire video on, I will link down below if you want to check it out. This way you can kind of read it over and do some of your own research. But that's all I have today. I really hope that you found this video helpful. And if you're wondering if an annuity or a MYGA is a good fit for you, well, all my information is going to be below. Give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, or book a Zoom call. I'd love to help you out. Until next time, stay safe and keep rolling into retirement with peace of mind. See ya.